What have you been getting into the last couple of days? Do you maybe piss somebody off? Did you maybe say something that triggered somebody? Are you triggered and sneaking around? Either way, something funky is happening behind the scenes. Somebody is plotting, planning, very mischievous, right? They're trying to pick up the swords and sneak away real quick with them. They're either wanting you in a very mental, anxious, anxiety kind of a moment, or they are, especially if you maybe laid somebody out with your words a little bit and called some truth and light to a situation that, I mean, people that move around in this kind of energy, they don't like when you call things out, right? But just know that's the thing, is if they are feeling anxious, they are wanting to project that onto you to make you now feel anxious. They're gonna be, when I asked what's this about, breadcrumbing and your day-to-day balancing. It's very much we want you to feel like you're not getting there's no equal give and take, withholding things, right? Making you beg, charity, like having to really ask for the things that you should just be getting regularly. And yeah, that day-to-day balance, they want to knock it off. They don't want balance. They don't want you to be able to balance your home, your hygiene, your work life, whatever it is for you, whatever things you're managing to balance right now. That's an issue. When I started this reading, I actually saw a tiny spider, like a teeny tiny little spider, just kind of crawling right across where I had my cards. So that is to spark a powerful change in your life. It serves as a spiritual reminder that you do not need massive resources to build a beautiful destiny. So again, back to the breadcrumbing, right? Regardless, whatever kind of lack mentality and like removal of resources, so you're having to beg, it's going to work itself out. You don't need a lot, right? Small beginnings, so big transformations start with tiny daily habits. Stay in balance. Two of Pentacles. Balancing your day-to-day, right? Overlooks potential, a reminder not to underestimate small ideas or minor opportunities. Gentle encouragement, right? Nudging you to start weaving a new project or path without rushing it. Take your time, plan things out, be slow, methodical, very Knight of Pentacles energy. Mindful details. You need to focus on the minor details of a situation right now. Just because it seems small doesn't mean it isn't. And the fact that we are also coming up on a full moon, just keep that in mind. Hidden strength. True power and creativity come from within, regardless of your physical size or current status. Okay. So even if you are in a very, David going up against Goliath kind of an energy, it's going to work itself out. Okay. Remember, he didn't have anybody, right? He had the power of God standing behind him and a teeny tiny little rock with a slingshot, and he took down one of the biggest fighters and was able to kind of win that way, right? He didn't really have to do much. He just trusted God and didn't let size intimidate him. Size can be anything, right? It could be actual, like, stature. It could be just somebody's like power and influence. It could be you're coming up against a bunch of people, whatever it looks like for you, right? But when I asked for a little bit more clarification, it seems that they're going to be coming in with this communication to try and put you in a very hanged man energy, right? To make you kind of feel like you're in limbo, to kind of take a step back, to pause, to maybe think. And it's going to be communication where they may use other people to come in and give you this information, whether it's actual friends, family, hired acquaintances, business pals, whatever. This group of people, these acquaintances, these alliances, they're going to come in with communication to try and put you in a very negative headspace, right? To make you lose doubt, to focus on like the spilled cups, and to make you feel very conflicted, like you want to battle. If there's ever going to be a time where you may be reactive, it might be right now. So if you get something that's upsetting on your phone, maybe put your phone down and step away from a bit, which is very hard. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm fucking perfect, because Lord knows I like to get rowdy. But don't get rowdy, right? Because that's exactly what they're wanting. They're wanting you to feel in a very disparaged, very conflicted, like I want to fight, I want to defend myself, I want to battle. You need to be in a very King of Cups energy, right? King of Cups has a very good understanding, not only on his own emotions, but the emotions of other people. He's very aware of when things are being projected onto him. He's very aware when he's kind of being manipulated. You know, a lot of times when people come at you with this kind of an energy, it's because they're feeling it internally, and so they want you to feel all those feelings for them. And you're not going to give them that, right? Because if they're sneaking around and they're doing weird shit in the background, that says more on these people than it does on you. And, you know, unfortunately, sometimes people really hate when you're somebody that just calls things out as you see it, and you don't let people bully and intimidate you. You know? Their inability to figure their shit out is a them problem. In the world. It's gonna close itself out. This is one of those situations where it's like a necessary journey. There's gonna be a lot of lessons here for everybody involved. You know, there's gonna be things that you're probably gonna have to sit back and kind of have to be like, yeah, I see where I messed up here. I see where I need to work on things, as well as clearly these people. I see where I need to. I see where I need to work on things. Right? What else do you have for us today? Oh my God, Becky. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you need to stay in this Queen of Wands energy again. Male or female doesn't necessarily matter. It's just the card, right? It's more of an energy type. So whereas the King of Wands is very good at delegating tasks and allowing people to kind of take over and do the work for him, and he reaps the rewards and the benefits. The Queen of Wands has no issues getting up, doing what she needs to do. If you've been kind of in a depressed state because you've got people clearly trying to fudge around with your emotions, the best thing you can do is give yourself a time frame. I'm going to give myself X amount of hours, X amount of days, whatever, to feel sad, and then I'm going to get up. I'm going to get creative, whether it's cooking yourself a nice meal, whether it's, you know, pouring your heart out in some artwork, whether it's dancing your heart out, because, you know, that always makes you feel good when you're feeling sad. Either way, you're very aware it's time to move away from the things that no longer serve you, right? Very much a move away from it. You're getting in your tiny little boat and you're sailing the fuck away. You do not care about these secrets, right, that are happening. And here's the thing: is these secrets have to do with you feeling emotionally unfulfilled and eventually moving away. You may have had situations where you don't have like the full scope of everything that's going on, and just know that the fact that you've had to move away from this stuff, there's a very good reason for it. God has a habit of letting things trickle out, right? Instead of allowing it to all get exposed at once. Because normally, I mean, most people would probably lose their minds depending on the level of betrayal and sneaky stuff that's going on. Yeah, this is probably something related to the home, whether an actual home, whether it's just a place that feels like home. This is one of those scenarios where they're attacking the place where you're supposed to feel comfortable at, even if it's just within your own body, because they want to attempt to put you in this difficulty situation to block your intuition. Because your intuition, I think, has a habit of telling on people before you even recognize that that's what it's doing. I think you don't really know the level of how on the money you are when you get a little spark and you look into it. You tend to find things out. Very rest energy, right? Yeah, you need to rest. You need to rest because this devil energy is going to come in, and a Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords kind of an energy. You need to rest. And when this starts to come out and they're trying to bat and bottle you and do all this weird stuff with their sticks, put the phone down. Put the phone down. What do you have for us real quick before this timer goes off? Just one or two maybe, right? Oh, look at that. One or two. Three. Throat chakra, authentic expression, keep speaking, self-love with the rose petal, and cashmere sweater. All three cards about self-love. Self-love, self-love, self-love. Ignore the nonsense. Ignore it because it's stupid.